I'm very pleased to have in the studio with me Neil McCabe, a conservative commentator and editor at the Guns and Patriot newsletter. Neil, welcome to the program.
Happy Easter, Tom, to you and your listeners.
Thank you, and happy Easter
viewers
to you too. Although it's past, is it not?
Well, this is Easter Tuesday, so we're still in the Easter season.
Okay, all right. And your website, by the way, Neil W. McCabe, MCCABE.com. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Neil W. Okay.
And you can sign up for Guns and Patriots at gunsandpatriots.com.
Oh,
which comes out every Tuesday.
That should be written down. Okay. Guns and A&D?
A&D.
Okay. All right. So I've been watching this whole thing, for the last couple of weeks. Jim Carrey comes out, with this video about, you're a big man with a little bitty gland, and then the smallpenisgunclub.com fires up, and it's pointing at all these various sites, and now there's a Small Penis Gun Club website or Facebook page.
Sure.
And it hit me this morning that Wayne LaPierre, isn't Pierre French for Peter?
Yes.
Wayne it's like I'm starting to get is it possible that all these guys who like to strut around with AR-15s or AK-47s, particularly at groups like the women Mothers Against Gun Violence,
sure,
that they're compensating for something?
This is a phallic compensation?
That's my theory, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have an academic background in these things.
No, not really. Well, I mean, arguably.
Arguably.
Credentialed, but...
First of all, I want to say about the video. I thoroughly enjoyed the video as art. I thought it was a brilliant homage to the Hee Haw show, which I loved, down to the camera angles and the jokes. I mean,
they did a great job of...
As satire or parody, I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. The shot for shot, just like Hee Haw.
Yeah.
But I thought the suggestion that you want to have a gun to compensate for your phallic deficiencies,
right,
I thought was really shocking, and it sort of...
Might it not be true, though?
Well, of course it could be true. I mean, a lot of things could be true, but I don't think it is. I think that really people just want to defend themselves. I mean, I think people have guns because they want to be safe and they want to protect themselves and their family.
This prosecuting attorney who was murdered in Texas a couple of days ago, apparently, increasingly it's looking like some white supremacist group.
Tied to a Mexican meth network.
May well be.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is. He had police protection for a while because one of his assistants had been murdered some time back. And then he said, well, I was in the military, I'm trained, I was a commando, I have a weapon at home, I'm fine.
Right.
Guy had a gun.
Sure.
He was killed on his way into his bedroom where the gun was. It's like, what, and I don't know if his gun was, an AR-40, an AR-15 with a 30-round clip.
Maybe it was locked to protect the children.
Yeah, or whether
he says he's running to it.
Right, exactly. And so this I have a gun for protection argument, I mean, here's a guy who really has a gun, and and they took him out. At what point does this become just kind of a silly argument?
Well, I think just because there's a sliver of a chance that you don't survive. I mean,
but more people are commit suicide with guns than defend themselves with guns. More people are accidentally killed with guns than defend themselves with guns. The anecdotes of woman stops man as he climbs in window of bedroom.
Yeah.
They're so rare that when they happen, they make the front page of Drudge.
Yeah, but still, I would like that granny to have a chance. Like, just because it only happens once every 100 days doesn't mean I want granny to be defenseless. Like, we don't have an obligation to be victims.
Well, I'm not suggesting granny should be defenseless. My take on this is that, and frankly, I think this is the old-fashioned Barry Goldwater conservative take, is individual responsibility.
Sure.
If you are going to handle a weapon which is capable of killing people, and I'm familiar with these things.
Okay.
I'm a target shooter. I shoot skeet. I've done competitive target shooting. My brother's very into this stuff. I know how to handle these weapons, some of them. And if you're the guy next to me on the gun range, I don't want to be next to a guy on the gun range. I don't want to make it you, Neil.
No,
I don't want the guy next to me on the gun range there because he thinks it's fun. He's just, hey, let's try this. Hey, give me one. Let me blow it up.
You remember, I'm a guy who deployed to Iraq as the combat historian, where I actually went on one convoy where they actually took my M16 away from me
Right.
And they said, we're going to hold on to this until the end of this trip, historian. So,
right.
I mean,
right, because you're not a combat guy.
But you're going to find that there's nowhere is safety giving greater emphasis than the private gun community. You go to a rod and gun club and you behave like a jackass, they're going to call you on it.
Absolutely.
And there's no government regulation that says it. It's the culture that's stronger than any law.
I don't disagree. And in fact, my early firearms training was with the NRA and at the Georgia Police Academy. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm familiar with that. But what I'm saying is, let's make that so. Right. So let's just say, with cars, we had cars. We didn't regulate cars in the United States for the first 25, 30 years we had cars. From the 1890s until the 1920s, there were no regulations on cars. And then they started going fast enough, and there started being enough of them that they started running people over, and people got in accidents and collisions. And we said, we've got to do something about this, make it rational. Okay, so first of all, we came up with the rules for the road. We've already done that with guns. I mean, if you're a hunter and you know about duck plugs, I mean, there are limits on what you can do to be an appropriate sportsman. But the other thing we did with cars was we said, let's register them from manufacture to destruction.
Right.
Let's so that there's a chain of ownership which can be defined. Let's have people prove their proficiency with a driver's license. They can demonstrate that they know what it is and how to use it because it's capable of killing people.
Absolutely.
And let's have a minimum level of insurance, that being liability insurance, so that if that car is even stolen or if it's misused or accidentally hurts somebody, I mean,
the society is not on the hook.
I get that. I find it mind-boggling that those 20 kids in Newtown who are all dead now, that their families didn't even get burial money out of this thing. If whatever that kid's name was, if he had been driving a car, even intending to kill these kids, if he had been driving a car, Geico would be paying out $1 million to each one of these families. But because they were killed with guns, they get nothing.
Well, I don't know if there may have been a liability policy that Lanza had, or maybe his family had. To the best of my knowledge, there was not. And if there's an estate, one could suggest that there would be civil remedies available that just haven't been explored yet.
There may be, and we'll see how that goes.
That process is in place.
But that shouldn't be necessary. We should just, $25 a year. But liability insurance for a gun owner is not that much.
I can agree with you, for all of these things. The problem is that if it runs afoul of what's enshrined in the Second Amendment.
The Second Amendment was,
grab your book.
The Second Amendment was ratified 2 years after the Constitution was.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to make that case, go ahead and then go through the constitutional process that's available to everyone.
Article 1, Section 8, Sentence 7, the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises to pay for post offices and postal roads.
Yes.
So roads, the right to have a road and use that road was in the Constitution before guns were in the Constitution.
Right.
So, and we say it's a limited right, just like the right of free speech is. There are certain words we can't say on the radio here. There are things you can't yell in a crowded theater.
Yeah, but you're hard pressed to avoid a word like shall not be infringed. I mean, that's pretty clear. And so if you want to change that,
but we have infringed on it.
Well,
you can't have a 50 caliber machine gun.
Then maybe that should be challenged.
So you think that people should be able to have shoulder-fired surface-to-air rocket launchers?
There's never been a spree shooter that's ever used one of those.
That's because they're not available.
Well, I mean, I would trust people with
I think that there have been spree shooters in Afghanistan and Iraq that have used those, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I think that when this...
And that's why those planes spiral down when you come into the Baghdad airport. You know this. You were there.
I've corkscrewed, and no, it's... And there are no windows in the C-130, so we have no idea when it's going to stop or when it's going to end.
Right.
But I think...
Neil, we're out of time. I'm sorry.
We
will continue to debate this. Neil McCabe, hang on just a second, Neil. I want your website one more time.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
It is gunsandpatriots.com?
Correct.
Gunsandpatriots.com.
Yes, and a very robust Facebook page.
Okay, great. Neil McCabe. Thank you, Neil.